Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Yeji's Chocolate here. You might know me from my reaction videos or my commentary videos, but this time I decided to do something different. This series, called Choco Recharge, is gonna be something like a video podcast or a video diary, life update sort of thing, where I talk about my experiences and struggles as a university student, also work, and just in general the challenges of entering your 20s. Hopefully, by doing these episodes, I recharge myself and I'm able to recharge you as well. If this is something you're intrigued by, please stick around for more, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss these kind of videos. And also follow me on Instagram, where I often post life updates and just give advice to my followers, so yeah, it could be helpful. Join. And yeah, let's now move on to the first topic of today's episode. Firstly, I'll introduce myself. Hi, I'm Millie, and I just finished my first year of university, and it was quite challenging. Starting from what to major in and like where to apply to moving to a totally different city and trying to build friendships and relationships. Like, it's very hard. Also maintaining good grades at the same time, it's very challenging. And I just know a lot of people my age also struggle with such change in their lives. You know, you have just entered adulthood and have to make a choice that will essentially impact your whole life. It's very hard. So, how do you know you made the right decision? Well, you don't. I think, in my opinion, most people won't know if they made the right decision until they actually started studying and kind of getting a feel of what their major is about, and also asking themselves if they could work something in that field. I know there are people who know and like feel what they're born to do from a very early stage of their lives, but majority of us are just confused, I think. And yeah, you could be great at maths or art, or you could love to read, but yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean that the best choice for you would be majoring in mathematics, let's say, or fine arts, or also having like a hobby you absolutely enjoy doing all the time. That doesn't mean that you should turn that into a career, if you know what I mean. There's so many interesting majors that usually don't come to mind at first, if you know what I mean. So I think people tend to go with the obvious choice. In my case, I am sort of good with foreign languages, so the obvious choice would have been a philology degree. And yeah, that's what most people told me I should choose because I like learning languages. But I ended up majoring in applied linguistics with 2 foreign languages, English and Spanish, and also IT. And that gives me so much more opportunities. I could become a teacher with both languages, a translator with both languages. During my study period, I could also study a 3rd languages and many more things, which is incredible. And yeah, I could also later on get a job that requires a lot of IT skills. So yeah, another tip is to choose like such hybrid majors, because yeah, that is such an advantage later on in life. Then it comes to which university to choose. For me, it was pretty easy after choosing my major to choose where to apply to. I live in Bulgaria, Europe, which is where I wanted to study. I didn't want to study abroad. So yeah, I only looked at universities around my area. And my first and obvious choice was the university in my hometown. But after doing a very deep dive into their website, I found out that especially the second language, the classes weren't gonna be enough. There were so little classes, like it was insane. And the level you graduate with is B2 level, which for 4 years of studying is, I don't know, it wasn't gonna satisfy me, I think. So yeah, I found a better option in another smaller city, which also surprised me because the university in my hometown is so praised, but I ended up finding such a better choice in another very small city. You graduate from that place with a level C1 in the first languages, which is incredible. People always praise the university in my hometown, but after studying for about a year in the other place, I'm getting more and more convinced that I made the right decision. I also heard from friends who study in the university in my town that their experience was very bad. They didn't really study the first language, also didn't really study anything in the IT classes, and the second language was very, like, incredibly neglected. They didn't start studying it from A1 level, rather something from around A2 or B1.1 level, which is kind of insane. And yeah, I heard most students were pretty confused and couldn't actually understand anything, so they had to pay for outside courses and classes so they could like catch up and actually study something and try to pass their exams. So yeah, my experience was incredibly different. Our teachers, our professors actually cared for us and tried to teach us the right way, like they're supposed to do. So yeah, I'm just, again, very happy that I made that decision. So the tip here is that you should do some very deep dive and really scan your options, try to find the best one for you. Also, you could ask around what other people think about this university or the major in that university and then the other, like try to compare them, and so you could get a better picture of the whole thing. That makes me think that a lot of people don't actually know what they're doing there, if you know what I mean. Like, I know a lot of people who got into university just because everyone is doing it, and they maybe feel, I don't know, like it's expected of them. But that just means they're technically forced to be there, and it shouldn't feel like that. You should have a goal or goals, something should motivate you. And if you feel so uncertain about what major to choose, you feel so overwhelmed by having to choose and make that important decision, and you're so uncertain of what your purpose is, maybe that just means you aren't ready for that part of your life yet, or maybe university isn't for you yet. And believe me, it's okay to hit pause and to take a gap year. It's okay to take a year and try to find your thing and try to find your purpose and what's best for you, what you are good at, and yeah, it's just important because that's essentially you're gonna be doing it for the rest of your life, you know. And I know it's hard, like maybe your parents are strict and don't allow you to take a gap year, or are forcing you to choose a certain major because you would earn a lot, or because it's what they did, you know, etc. So yeah, I know it's hard, I know it's challenging, but don't neglect your feelings. This will be something you do forever, or at least for most of your life. So I think in order to feel fulfilled later on in life and actually enjoy what you're doing, I think now you should choose wisely and carefully, and you should, even though it's hard, stand up to your parents or whatever is stopping you from making that important decision in your life. So, you made the choice. You are now a first-year university student, maybe living in another town. Now what? I've asked myself this for such a long time. Like, how am I supposed to move to another city where I don't know anybody and where I won't have my friends and my family, aka my emotional support? What am I gonna do? How am I supposed to get close to people and build friendships or relationships or whatever? And through this, it was very hard. Like, I can now see that this was the loneliest period of my life. It all became such a boring routine in the first few months. Like, I got up, I went to classes, I occasionally, here and there, talked to some unimates, probably about class, nothing else. I didn't meet anybody outside of class for most parts. Then I go back to my dorm and maybe chat with my roommate for like 5 minutes. My roommate who I just met, and yeah, it was weird. It's such a difficult period in your life. Like it's insane. At least for me, as an introvert, it was hard to get out of my comfort zone and try to approach people. But that's what you should do, or you're just gonna end up being lonely for the rest of the bachelor degree, at least. So yeah, just get out of that comfort zone and forget your comfortable bubble and just try to approach people. You have to realize that most people there are just like you, lonely, introverted, and scared to start a conversation. So just do the job. Just go out there and approach people. That's what I did, and it eventually worked out for me. I got close to some people. I also people were generally nice to me, but the best thing out of the whole situation was that I got most close with my roommate, and we even went to Europe for a short trip. To London for a short trip, and a K-pop concert, which would have never happened to me if I stayed inside my comfort zone and I just was like, I'm not gonna talk to anybody. So yeah, I survived my loneliest and saddest period of my life, but then I got to like the best part of my life, which was this London trip. This was the funniest time ever. So yeah, the tip here is just get out there and talk to people, and I'm sure you'll make some good friends. My last topic of today's episode is how to have a social life while also studying for the exams. And if I'm being honest, this answer is still a little bit blurred for me, since I'm not the biggest social butterfly out there. As I said, I'm an introvert, and I don't always seek activities or social events or stuff like that. But the tip here is just to try and organize things well. Start from even paying good attention, and actually paying good attention in class, and also start working on your projects very early on, so you could be more calmer during the exam period, more into the topic. Like, don't leave everything for the last minute. And I know it's hard, but in that way you also have more free time, where you could use it either for your hobbies, or go out either alone if you're an introvert, or with friends. And yeah, just try to balance things. Don't always leave everything for the last minute. Don't only focus on your social life. Also try to maintain your study life as well. And I'm sure everything will work out in the end if you try to balance things. But more on that and more related topics in the next episodes. I hope this one recharged you just like it did me. And I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!